Hello and welcome into the weekly Warrior Preview. I'm your host, Donette Logan. It has been a busy summer for the Thompson Warriors. From one getting a chance to go pro, to some being ready to head to the Plains, plus a new All-American, and the Warriors are preparing for the national spotlight. We'll have all that and a lot more after a word from our sponsors.
Since 1980, Mr. Bug's Pest Control has remained one of Alabama's top pest control companies. From residential to commercial, we always strive to embrace our industry's latest and most current technology. We provide our customers peace of mind by knowing their pest and termite control needs are met. At Total Roofing, we understand the importance of a sturdy and reliable roof. Whether you're dealing with roof repair, restoration, shingle replacement, storm damage, or a pesky roof leak, we've got you covered. Call Total Roofing at 205-432-8395. Buddy's Barbecue, a family-run staple in Alabaster since 1976. We make barbecue the old-fashioned way and serve it with our handmade sides. Check out our social media for daily specials.
Go Warriors!
Better Lawn and Gardens. We're located right here in Alabaster. We specialize in weed control and fertilizing, landscape lighting, lawn maintenance, and landscaping. We love serving our neighbors in Alabaster. Reach out for your free quote.
Go Warriors!
Welcome back to the Weekly Warrior Spotlight. We are now 1 week away from the start of football season for the Thompson Warriors. The Warriors' home opener against Grayson High School out of Georgia will air on ESPN2 on Thursday, August 22nd. The Warriors lost by just 2 points in the state final last season, but plan to be that championship team we all know again this year. They had key departures last year with Colvin Landrew and Caleb Harris graduating. But with Trent Seaborn, Cam Pritchett, and Mike DeJean returning, the foundation is there for the Warriors to reclaim that title. Also on the return and leading the offense line by center, Dylan Marquis, Braden Saylor, and A.J. Williams. And we cannot forget the top 3 national recruits who have decided to head to Auburn in December to play for Hugh Freeze. 5-star edge Jarrett Smith, who is ranked 19th in the nation, 4-star safety Anquan Fagans, and kicker John Allen McGuire, who has been invited to play in the Army All-American game in January. We'll have a familiar look on the field, but a new sound coming from the play-by-play booth in the press box. Early this year in January, we said farewell to our dear friend, who was also the voice of the Warriors, Jerry Young. Jerry was known for his passion during the game, and no one will ever forget how he would yell, "Touchdown Warriors." Jerry loved Thompson and will be happy to know the Warriors have found the next person to take that chair, and he joins me now, Matthew Moyer. Matthew, thank you for joining us and welcome.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So this is not anything new for you.
It's not. We started in '84, and it's funny. I'll never forget Christmas of '83. I got a little record player. It was a 45 record player.
Yeah.
And when you opened it, there was a big speaker on the back and then a 12-foot cord with a microphone.
Oh, wow.
It was called Mr. Microphone. And you could put a 45 record on there and play it, and then you could introduce it. And I was hooked. I knew exactly what I wanted to do from that point on. And by God's grace, it's led all the way to here, and my family and I could not be more thrilled.
I know that we talked earlier, and everybody loved Jerry, and I know he would be glad to see that they have found someone that has a passion for the game and these athletes to take this seat. And you mentioned, following him. I saw an interview you did with him in a newspaper. I feel like they're big shoes to fill.
Huge
Yeah.
shoes to fill, and you're not. We're not going to try and
right.
fill those shoes. There's no doubt about it. As a side note, I got the nicest call from his wife.
She's the sweetest.
I was in the airport in Washington, D.C., and I'm standing there in the terminal with tears pouring out of my eyes. She could not have been nicer, and it was such a blessing to have her call. But you're not replacing Jerry.
Right.
You are simply trying to carry on a legacy of great broadcasting at Thompson. No one's going to replace it. No one's going to try. I could never live up to that. But what I can do is do my best to continue broadcast excellence within the Warrior Nation Network.
And I love that because, Jerry being so close and kind of was at the start of that show with all of us. And so it's just, no one can do that touchdown Warriors like he did.
That's right.
But you're going to bring a new style and a new look to the booth. And you'll be joined again by John and Tim.
Yes.
Is there anything exciting you think we can kind of expect from you guys? Anything new? Some kind of guests lined up yet?
Well, the chemistry's already there.
Correct.
Those two guys are amazing.
They're great,
and
yeah.
so Coach Pitts took us over to have a meeting. It was about a month after the final decision had been made, and immediately you could kind of tell, hey, this is going to be great. And so I'm really excited to work with those guys. We haven't started on guests yet, but with some of these recent decisions that have been made, we're working on some pretty neat stuff for the upcoming season.
Now, I won't join you guys this year on the sidelines. Instead, Christina Chambers is coming, who I love and adore.
Yes.
So I think it'll have a new sound from the field and the press box, which is good. Now, your daughter, she cheers at Oak Mountain.
She does.
So it has to be a torn a little bit on this Friday nights. How's that going to work for you? Video camera, recording from your wife?
You know, what's really neat is, so I met Coach Freeman about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And we just immediately formed a really neat relationship, which to me was an incredible blessing. As busy as he is, and he's pulled in a million different directions, and yet he always had time, whether it was a text message or a quick phone call. And so we're a very prayerful family. And when the opportunity presented itself, we went home, prayed about it, and as a 15-year-old, she said, Dad, I don't ever want to look back and realize that I was the reason you didn't take this position.
That's so grown up
And
to
I thought, oh my gosh, out of the mouths of babes, right?
Yeah.
And so our son's going to be 13 on the night of the Clay Chalkville game. And so we'll have to figure out something kind of fun for him on that night. But they've been incredibly supportive. I'm from Illinois, and so my allegiance is to great broadcasting and great football. And we certainly have great football, and there's great broadcasting with John and Tim. I just have to move in and not goof things up, and I think we'll be okay.
No pressure. No
That's
pressure.
right.
If you do, don't worry about it. John and Tim will carry you through.
That
Those
is
guys are
correct.
fantastic.
They
and
are.
they
Yes.
just, the chemistry is important, and I'm
It
glad
is.
to know it's there. And so I know it's going to be an exciting season.
Yes.
And you mentioned some of these commits that we have.
Yes.
I want you to stay with us in the second block, maybe come back and let's talk about some of those and preview the Warriors.
I would love to.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jacob with Duck Doctor USA. If you would like a healthier home, give us a call today at 205-980-0800 or check us out on the web at duckdoctorbirmingham.com.
Duck Doctor says, Go Warriors!
Shelby Fence Company is a name you can trust for outstanding fencing services in Shelby County and the nearby areas. We are the preferred contractor for fence installations, and you can depend on Shelby Fence Company to provide superior fencing and gate options, including chain link, aluminum, and wood.
Clothing, shoes, accessories, and gifts. G&G Loft has all that and more. We also offer a full line of Merle Norman makeup. Come let our staff help you pick the perfect piece just for you.
Classic Nail Spa is proud to be one of the best nail salons in Alabaster. We will provide excellent service with all the new trends. Come relax and pamper yourself with us today.
Go Warriors!
Welcome back to the Weekly Warrior Preview. In 1 week, Warrior Stadium will be packed with fans ready to get the season underway. They will open against Grayson High School out of Georgia and then head to Tennessee to face Lipscomb. Those two games are predicted to be the only losses the Warriors will have this season. Matthew Moyer joins us again, and I wanted to kind of get your take and a look at the Warriors as a whole.
Yes.
You've kind of been to practice. You've seen these guys.
Yes.
What are you seeing be a strength for this team this year?
One of the things that I noticed right away is the family, the brotherhood. And I had a chance to talk to a couple of the players over the weekend, and all of them said exactly the same thing. I asked them 2 questions to start. Number 1, what's it like to play for Coach Freeman? To a man, all of them said, I have a father at home, and then I have a father at Thompson.
Because
in
he
Coach
really looks
Freeman.
after these guys. And it's not just
It's
on the
amazing.
football field.
Yes.
I know he's taken some of the guys fishing.
Yes.
You know, he likes to spend time with them, but he invests in them.
No
and it's
doubt.
not just him. His whole family does, because his son-in-law is one of the coaches.
Yes.
But they really do invest in these players as a whole. If
Yeah.
one of the guys are going through something, they all go through it together.
Yes.
You know, which I think
You're
that says
exactly
a lot.
right.
And his faith stands out in what he does, and he makes sure that these guys know that as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. So the first thing that stood out was that family atmosphere. The second thing that stood out from each of these players that I talked to, it's a redemption tour. It's a revenge tour. For the seniors that I spoke to, they want to leave with a ring.
Absolutely.
And so what an exciting thing to have as a goal to work towards this year. Throughout each of these shows, whether it's ours or one on one of the other local stations, we're going to hear about 3 names pretty regularly throughout the season. I wanted to dig a little bit deeper and take a look at some of the players that are going to help those 3 really get to the next level.
You mentioned earlier about the ring, and Mike DeJean and Trent Cheatham are very close. They're good friends. They didn't get class rings because they said, we already have rings from football. But you had a chance to kind of talk to Trent, and that's a solid kid.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I loved speaking with him. We had so much fun. He wanted me to make sure that I mentioned Mosley and Ramil. He thought both of those guys are in for some big seasons. But I picked Trent. He's a senior, the linebackers, and I asked him, I said, I chose you knowing that. Why do you think you're in for a good season? And he said, Matthew, our defensive line, the level of confidence that I have in them, it's going to free us up as linebackers to really make plays. And so I picked Trent Cheatham. AJ is a neat guy. He's going to put on the Warrior uniform for the first time, but he's a really neat guy. It's a great family. I'm excited to see what he brings to the team this year. Angel Jones, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. So you mentioned Trent with that defensive line. There's big shoes there because a couple years ago when you had Peter Woods leading that line, they were, the O-line, but that line scores. It's just ridiculous
Yeah.
So I know there's big shoes, and I think that's something Trent and them want to they want to top it.
He's excited.
It's not just the ring they want. They want those bragging rights to last.
That's right.
Following Peter Woods, that's big.
It is.
Yeah.
It's huge. Look at what he's doing right now. These guys have something to aspire to, and that's really neat as well.
And you mentioned A.J. Williams the first time. You got to watch him at practice. What can we see from him the first time seeing him at Warrior Stadium?
A high motor guy.
Yeah.
A really high motor guy. Ton of integrity. Incredible sportsmanship. I'm really excited to see AJ play. Another guy that I selected was Angel Jones. I think he's in for a big season at the wide receiver position. And then Cam Pritchett.
I love him.
Yeah, that's what everybody says.
He's just like a big teddy bear. He's such a sweetheart. But then he gets on that field and it's like it switches. It's like a beast suddenly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's one that we will hear his name a lot this season. You get used to saying it. You're going to say it a whole lot.
Yes.
And I think he has a lot of potential of different colleges looking at him. He can pretty much probably go anywhere he wants to go right now.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because I think the last I saw, he had enough offers to fill a poster.
Yes.
So, he is just, he's getting the attention of people, and now it's time to get the attention at Warrior Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's a guy you want to kind of profile, plus you have another one, Moyer.
I did. I got a chance to speak with him over the weekend. Great young man. Really excited for this season. You could look at this a couple of different ways. He has his own redemption tour.
He does.
Not everyone gets the opportunity to go back and do it again. Yeah. And he is running towards it and not away from it. And I loved hearing that from him. He's getting great advice from his older brother.
Yep, from Evan.
And I think he's in for a great senior season as well.
You mentioned his redemption. And what I love about this team is the 2 games that McGuire had the kicks not go his way.
Right.
That team was right there to hug him and make him say, hey, it's okay.
Yes.
There was no blame. They were like, we're going to do it next time.
Yes.
And so I'm sure there's a lot of pressure on the kicker. I think people forget that's a very pressure game right there, that person, to lead that team there.
And it's a lonely position.
It is. It is. Yeah. But he has a big honor this year being invited to play in the All-American game.
Yes.
He already committed to go to Auburn. He'll graduate in December.
Yep.
I think he's going to make his own name for himself.
I really
You
do
mentioned
too.
Evan, but I don't think you can even compare the two at this point. What do you think when you see them play?
I haven't seen the younger brother as much yet, so it'll take me a couple of games into the season. Ask me in a month.
Now, I do have to ask a question about
Yes.
some of these guys. 3 of them going to Auburn.
Yes.
I mean, what is going on there?
Hugh Freeze opened up a pipeline again,
Yeah.
and he's doing something right. Having been down there for a couple of their game day experiences, what an incredible atmosphere. It's a ton of fun.
Right.
And they're on their way back up. And Freeze has the program re-energized. He's got it pointed in the right direction. These guys have said, hey, we can go and be part of that change. Why not?
Exactly.
Why not?
And they're all going to graduate in December. They
Yes.
head down there early. That's something our football players do. They do that to be part of spring training.
Yes.
I know people always wonder why, because
Right.
they are ready to go to the next level and they want to be part of that team. So it's a lot of pressure, but they do a great job at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would like to have you come back each week
I would love it.
and preview our games.
Thank you.
I think that would be great to kind of get a take on them. And they say Grayson will be a loss, but I think we can probably pull it out. Yeah. So
I firmly agree. I'm excited to see that. Thanks to ESPN for preempting our first opportunity to get into that broadcast booth, but we are going to do the game.
Yeah.
It'll just be a little bit second fiddle, but that's okay. It's great for the program. What a wonderful way to kick off the high school football season to have Thompson and Grayson on Thursday the 22nd. So I'm really excited, and thank you for having me. It means a lot.
Thanks so
really
much.
appreciate it.
Let's take back this yard!
Hold on, soldiers. There's an easier way to deal with mosquitoes and ticks. Wayne's Pest Control offers modern solutions that are safe and effective, so you don't have to battle them alone. It's best to just call Wayne's Pest Control.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ann Artavino, and I'm happy to share that we're providing oral appliance therapy for patients with obstructive sleep apnea. This is an FDA-approved appliance, so call us today for more information.
Brooklear Pharmacy is your hometown pharmacy offering competitive prices on prescriptions, hormone replacement therapy, compounding, medical equipment, and immunizations. Brooklear Health Mart Pharmacy, dedicated to providing the best health care for our community.
Go Warriors!
Authentic Mexican cuisine right here in Alabaster. Combined with Sneaky Pete's hot dogs, this is a great place to stop in for a bite to eat. Online ordering and delivery is available at our Alabaster location.
It's now time for the DL on the Warriors. Tonight, the Marching Southern Sounds are giving the community a preview of their halftime show, Celestial. The band did take a small break from practice for the start of school and to celebrate their seniors. Our Warriorette seniors decided to get on the social media trend of doing the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders Thunderstruck. Great job, ladies, on that. Check out the senior athletes on the Warrior volleyball team. These ladies have a lot to be proud of themselves, and their entire team has been recognized for their work in the classroom with the AVCA Team Academic Award. The team had an overall GPA of 4.3 last year. The ladies got a chance to show their personalities in this year's Media Day photo shoot. They will open the season at Sylacauga High School on August 22nd. Their home opener is set for August 27th against Helena and Gardendale. Thompson alum and baseball standout Demarion Terrell had a summer he will never forget. He was drafted in the 19th round by the Toronto Blue Jays. The pitcher had till August 1st to decide if he would go to Toronto or play for Auburn, where he's committed for college. Terrell chose Auburn, saying he knows the Tigers will stand behind him and help him develop his skills over the next 3 years. We may be months away from baseball season starting, but members of the Warriors have already decided where they'll play the next level. Hayden Craycraft has committed that he will play at Shelton State after graduation. Andrew Harris has committed to AUM. To the softball diamond, where Olivia Tyndall and Aubrey Hooks both had standout performances in the North-South All-Star game. Hooks took the circle for Game 2, where she struck out 2 at the bottom half of the third. Tyndall scored a run off a sacrifice fly in the 5th, helping extend that lead 9-5. Thompson has a new All-American. Will Atkins took home the title in Fargo at the Wrestling National Championship. And soccer just added a wealth of knowledge to their coaching staff. Greg Vinson has been added as the Associated Head Coach and College Liaison Coordinator. Vinson comes from Birmingham Southern. In a few weeks, we're going to have him on the show to kind of get to know him a little bit better. That's going to do it for the Weekly Warrior Preview. A big thanks to our guest, Matthew Moyer, the new voice of the Warriors, for coming on the show. Also, a big thanks to our sponsors, new and returning, for making this show possible. We'll see you next week right here on Alabaster Living TV.